Hello and welcome to the yapfest podcast. My name is Rampu. Rampu.
And I'm the religiously affiliated Star Wars character, Chewbacca.
I want to watch Star Wars so bad right now. Like that just
I
awakens something in me.
Can I tell you something that has become a day-to-day thing for me now?
You watch a Star Wars movie every day.
No,
Oh.
but it would be a great addition to what Danny and I do. When both of us get home from work, as soon as we're both home, we pop and watch Riverdale.
One time I and we put Riverdale on and it wasn't even I don't even think it was like a scary episode. Like I think the Dungeons and Dragons game is the scariest like moment like in the show, I guess. But like I for some reason it just scared me really really badly.
Last night, so I have to preface this with a story. One time, I went to the movie theater under the influence with a bunch of friends, and we went to go see Barbarian.
You were under the influence when you saw that?
I was very drunk.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
When you told me the recount, like that you left that part out. I never knew that.
Yes,
So
I
that
was.
actually makes 10 times more sense why you were so scared of it.
I was very drunk, and this isn't really a spoiler, but there's a chase scene that happens in the film, and it's like a really scary moment. And right before the monster gets to this girl, it's a hard cut to a guy driving on the West Coast in his red convertible. And it's
Classic.
like, it was such an intense moment right before we get to like the attack. Car cruising down, um, past the ocean, bopping to some song. And I shouted in the movie theater, "Are you joking?" And so that's the preface. I had one of those moments while watching Riverdale last night. Uh, I don't know if you remember this, but there's an episode where uh, someone stumbles into Pops late at night, and Veronica's like, "Oh, we're closed," and the guy is like, "Look, I just like am getting off of an 18-hour shift. I'm a truck driver. Can I please just get like a cup of coffee and a home cooked meal?" And Veronica, now being the nice person she is, was like, "Sure, absolutely." And as she's serving this guy his food, he gets to dessert. Um, the TV comes on, and it's like, "Breaking news. This criminal has escaped the institution he was staying at, the serial killer known as the Family Man, who will make you cook a meal before killing his victims." And it's a
I don't
picture of
remember
him.
that.
Yeah,
That would
scary
freak me out.
as fucking shit. Literally 3 scenes later, her and Archie are having pillow talk. Like she didn't just almost die. Like he
Riverdale
chases her
pisses me off.
through the speakeasy. Like she knocks him the fuck. Like she burns him.
Yeah.
He's holding a lighter trying to find her in the speakeasy, and she dumps alcohol on him, and he lights up. And like these kids have been through so much trauma
I know, what the fuck?
that literally they could just have pillow talk after it.
That's crazy. Well, but also Riverdale is just like that. Like, I don't know what episode or like season it's in, but remember when they're like all at like the I don't know if it's the Serpent's bar, but it's like that one bar and they're like singing the here's to Archie and Betty and Jughead. Like why? Why was that necessary? I just don't understand.
Danny and I were talking about the music in the show yesterday.
It's
Um,
crazy.
because so we just started season 4. Mind you, we started watching last week.
Uh,
Um,
it's really easy to like run through them though.
and the thing is, each episode is still like 45 minutes long, so
Yeah.
they're not short episodes. But like once you're in, Danny and I have to watch at least 3 episodes. We just started season 4, and there's like a new principal, whatever. and they ban them from having the back to school dance. So Cheryl's throwing a back to school party, and as she's handing out the invitations, the audio is like, "And Archie will be there, and Ronnie will be there, and Jughead will be there."
I don't remember that because like I don't know what actual season I stopped watching, but it's so why did they need to do that? Because here's the thing is that like I don't know if it's the same people who made like I'm not sure if it's the exact same people who made Riverdale as made Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, but
Yes.
they're like in the same they're in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess yeah, it is some of the same people because they're filmed in similar like it's a similar kind of
Mm-hmm.
style.
Greendale is the town right next to Riverdale.
Right. Well, but so I don't think like I think Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is a good show. So like I don't know how Riverdale is so like crazy and terrible when Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is like good in my opinion. I mean the last season was a little but like I think it's because they had more planned and they got canceled so they had to like make something up.
Well, with the Adventures of Sabrina, they get to have that uh, magical aspect from episode one.
Mm,
Like they're
I
like,
guess that's
she's a
true.
witch, and
Yeah.
so of course fucked up shit's gonna happen. Of course the devil is gonna summon her. Like all of that is like, okay, this is a world in which this can happen.
Yeah.
Riverdale set no ground rules whatsoever for what to expect.
They didn't really have like a plot. I mean like it's based off the comics, but do they ever run a single storyline like from the comics or is it just like they're using the same characters in the same setting and
The answer is yes. They have taken like bits, like not like a straight up like, oh, we're gonna take this comic for this episode. They take inspiration from, but really the only thing that is set in stone is these are the characters' names.
that's kind of what I figured. Um but like I think like canonically like there is like a I've never read the Archie comics. Just putting that out there. But like I think that like Riverdale as like a town like they mention in Chilling Adventures of Sabrina that like weird stuff happens in Riverdale too and like it's like I don't know, they're kind of like grouped together like just there's like weird shit that goes on. And so like I guess that kind of like sets it sets a precedent, but like you said, they didn't set any ground rules.
No,
Like
they just said, here's a bunch of teens,
like
watch them do crazy shit.
there's not even really like a plot. I mean like there is a plot, but like there's not like an overall plot. Like
Yeah,
they're not building to any do they still make the show? No. They can't still be
I
making that.
I think they're done. Spoiler alert: they kind of take a Deus Ex Machina,
Oh,
uh,
yeah.
which, for those who don't know what that is, it's basically a magical solution to uh, a certain world's problems that just magically fixes everything. Basically, later in the series, they go, "Uh oh, you time traveled. Here you go. Different scenario."
That's so annoying. That's crazy. I don't think I'll ever finish Riverdale. I just can't. I don't have it in me.
It The world in which it lies is simply just so unhinged.
Yeah, it's like there's too much going on at all times.
Like it's really hard to keep track because every 10 minutes some new shocking information is revealed to some character that completely changes their motives. Like, okay, freaking spoiler alert. Like, Penelope Blossom is the Gargoyle King.
That was weird and crazy. What I don't understand the choice. What were like I just don't understand.
what makes me the most mad about this show is when the show hands the audience the information, but the characters don't seem to put the pieces together. When one of the characters died, it found that they had tattoos, and the tattoo artist who did them said that another guy came in a couple months prior, got the same tattoo, had blonde hair, blue eyes. I immediately was like, oh, spoiler alert. Oh, that shit's Chick. It was Chick. Because no other character has such striking blue eyes. But a fucking Betty and her delusions. It's fucking Edgar. I hate the farm.
I don't know. I just feel like the the lore is just too crazy. It's too much for me to judge. Like I can't wrap my head around it. And like I know it's not supposed to be like real, but like I'm immediately like there's not even like suspension of disbelief. Like I this is not real. This would never happen. Like
It couldn't.
it couldn't happen at all.
Like the governor is letting you shut down your town because you have a lot of money. What?
It doesn't make any sense. Like I who was in this writer's room? I have to know.
And by who, I'm talking, was it Mary Jane? Was it fucking.
They were on crack cocaine. They were on crack cocaine when they made Riverdale.
But I love every second of it.
I don't know how you can watch it though because like I literally like I get so scared. I can't even watch like I have to well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just a me thing. I'm really susceptible to getting scared. So like
That's
I
fair.
have to put on like I don't think I told you this last time, but like last week or something, I got and I put on Kunk on Earth. And like I've seen Kunk on Earth sober. Like I thought it was fine, but so I put it on and I think I took too much um to begin with, but I put on Cook on Earth and like all of the sudden all I can see and all I can hear is Pump Up the Jam. Like I none of the in between happened. I didn't see Philomena Kunk one time on the screen. All I saw and all I heard was Pump Up the Jam, and then I think I was sitting there. I watched like 3 episodes of Kunk on Earth, and they're like, I think they're like 30 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
So I was sitting there for an hour and a half, and then after 3 episodes, I'm like, why does Pump Up the Jam keep playing over and over again? I thought I was watching Kunk on Earth. And so finally, I'm like, I've had enough of Pump Up. Like, I kept waiting for the show to start. And it never, like, all my brain would see is Pump Up the Jam. And so
Oh,
finally, I turned it off. I was like, Pump Up the Jam. I felt like I was in a waiting room. I was like, they won't let me watch the show. Pump Up the Jam keeps playing.
yesterday I took too much. So I started. I got new because I'm like just trying things out. I took 10 and I sat there for 2 hours, didn't feel a single thing. So I was like, ah, oh, fuck it, I'll take another 5. 10 minutes later, the original 10 hits. 30 minutes go by. I stand up to go get myself ice cream, and the new 5 hit. Immediately, no sense of balance. I couldn't figure out how to scoop the ice cream for the life of me. Danny and I stood Danny and I stood in the kitchen laughing for 30 minutes before either of us could get a snack. TikTok,
Oh my god.
the band that was.
They literally didn't have to go dark because Biden said he wasn't going to uphold the ban. They didn't have to go dark. They did that by choice and then thanked Trump for it, even though Trump doesn't take office until today, the day that we're recording this. At first, I did think that they quietly sold to Meta or to Elon Musk, and like the part of the reason that they shut down is because they were switching stuff over the servers. But I don't think that's true anymore. I've been seeing and reading stuff that's like our government wants to hold like 50%, like they want to own it 50% or something. I that might have changed since I last saw something. I That's still bad
Mm-hmm.
because they can still, like, they're still able to censor stuff from us. Uh Viewers, if any of your like algorithms or whatever is all messed up, leave us a comment and tell us about it because mine is so completely normal. And
And mine is
I haven't even been sent like none of my comments have been like censored, and I was commenting like fuck Zuck, hashtag fuck Zuck.
hashtag fuck suck.
Isn't it catchy? I came up with it on my own.
TikTok getting shut down and opening back up is creating a lot of internet buzz.
Yeah.
Buzz that's gonna linger for the next few days. During which Trump's plans to have the largest deportation ever.
Yeah, he's trying to cover shit up. I have a whole bunch of words that I've looked up the etymology of. I've been really, really into the etymology of words. Allow me to take you on a journey.
All right.
So, first of all, like, do you ever wonder where words, like, because we have the most random words sometimes, and I'm like, where did they come from?
Mm-hmm.
The first one I looked up was toilet. I needed to know where the word toilet came from. So, it originates from French. I'm
It
probably
feels
not
right.
going to say it right. Toile. And then it evolved. It doesn't say what that means, but it evolved to the French toilette, which means cloth or wrapper. Um, and then mid 16th century, they started calling it a toilet. Mid 16th century, from French toilette, diminutive of toile. The word originally denoted a cloth used as a wrapper for clothes. Then in the 17th century, a cloth cover for a dressing table, the articles used in dressing and the process of dressing, later also of washing oneself. In the 19th century, the word came to denote a dressing room, and in the US, one with washing facilities, hence a lavatory. In the early 20th century. Isn't that fascinating?
Well, toilet kind of just sounds French.
I fully expected it to come from French because, like, we still, or um, like on perfume and stuff, it'll say, eau de toilette. And
Mm.
so, like, I kind of assumed it came from French. Tampon. I'm naturally curious. It did originate from German, but it doesn't say what word in German it originated from. Somehow, well, Germanic. I don't know if it was German or Germanic. This says Germanic. But then it evolved to French, uh, tapon, which means plug or stopper, merged with the English tap, and in the mid 19th century, we got tampon.
Yeah, we have the French word tampon, which is Tampion, which means cloth stopper.
And then this says mid 19th century from French, nasalized variant of tapon, which means plug stopper, ultimately of Germanic origin and related to tap. Like, it literally means plug and stopper. And, like, accurate. Then I want to know where the French got that from. And, like, I can't figure it out. Like, the origin of everything really, like, weighs on my mind heavily, I feel. Okay, next word. Fable. Comes from, originated the Latin for speak, which is fari. I guess evolved from fari to fabula, which means story. And then in Old French, it was fable. And then in Middle English, it was fable. Middle English from Old French, fable, noun. From Latin, fabula, story from Fari speak. I love it. It's so interesting to me. I've been looking for, like, I'm trying to read more because my brain needs to be, my muscles. Is your brain a muscle?
It's an organ.
But it's not a muscle.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, the pathways in my brain, I needed to like when you think the pathways in your brain like deepen or whatever. That's an image. Sorry. But anyway, I've been thinking about strengthening my brain because I feel like things have happened to my brain that I feel like I need to like do physical therapy for my brain, but it's not physical therapy. That didn't make any sense. Hey.
It did.
But like where was I going with it? I don't know. But anyway, I just feel like I need to be reading more. And so I found I found this app where you can like join like book clubs online because I low key miss when I was in like what age do you do book reports at? Like third and fourth grade. I miss
Mhm.
book reports. I miss doing them. And like I don't really like Goodreads. It's not enough for me. I want to like talk about stuff.
Mhm.
And so I found this app. But anyway, and then I was looking at the genres and I really like fantasy is my favorite genre. But unfortunately, for some reason, there's just not a lot of good fantasy books that aren't like dark fantasy romance. Like, I don't want to read that. I want to read about dragons and shit.
Please read Fourth Wing.
I thought it had
Please.
romance and shit in it. I don't want
It
to read that.
does.
Is it
It
like a main part of the plot, though? Because I don't want to read about straight people kissing. Sorry, straight people, but I really don't like I don't want to read any of that. If it has like smut in it, I'm gonna skip it because I don't want to read that. I want to read about dragons
oh,
and
it has
pirates
so much.
and like
But it has all of those. It has all of those. If you could just buckle down and get through it, because the characters that they put together is extremely important for the story. It is only relevant to the story.
okay, give me an elevator pitch for Fourth Wing right now.
Violet Soaringale, a small little puny ass bitch, gets signed up to become a dragon rider by her mother, who's a dragon rider and the headmistress of the war college. Um, Basically, everyone tells her, "I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't," and she ends up taming the strongest dragon there is to tame, and she becomes a force to be reckoned with. And she has vigorous sex throughout the
Can
whole
I
book.
can I skip that part?
No, it's so juicy.
But I don't care. I don't care.
But my house, my chair, my woman.
Can I skip those parts?
No. It's
Why?
it's because it's vital to the plot. It's not just like, and here's a chapter smut. Like what happens in the smut is extremely important.
What?
Because
How is that possible?
because you figure out one of the character's abilities through it.
That's crazy. I'll think about it. People keep recommending Fourth Wing to me, and I'm like, I don't want to read it because I don't care about romance. I don't care about kissing. I care about the state of the kingdom and like what's gonna happen if like the king seizes all of the land around the whatever. I don't like.
Question: do you prefer first person or third person?
I don't really have a preference. Although I feel like first person, like it gives room for the narrator to be unreliable, and that kind of pisses me off. Like in Hunger Games, like Katniss is an unreliable narrator, and it makes me kind of mad. But like I don't really have like I'll read. It doesn't really like actually bother me that bad. But like once you realize that they could be unreliable, like there's another level to it, I guess.
Do you like a hero becomes villain story arc?
I can get down with that. Yeah, I really
Read
love villains.
Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. The the only it's really nowhere as bad. The third book has the most. The third book has the most, I will say, but even that is not good, and I felt violated reading it because of how innocent the first two books are. Like I was like, so Carry On by Rainbow Rowell is about this boy named Simon, and he is supposed to be like the savior. He's a wellspring of magic, but he doesn't know how to use it very well. There's this villain that they're fighting that's like really hard to track down. It's so good.
I just want to say that I survived Tumblr in 2014, and so the impact that this book had on millions of people, like,
Carry on.
yeah, that was like super popular in 2014.
Look, especially in the first two books, Carry On and Wayward Son, nothing really happens except a couple shared kisses. That is the only thing that happens until the third book. We get a chapter that's steamier than the rest, and I had to pause reading it because I was like, these words are coming from fucking Rainbow Rowell right now.
But anyway, all that to say that I was like looking like in the app that I downloaded, you can select like all the genres that you're interested in. And so I picked fantasy, I picked LGBTQIA plus, and I like historical fiction. It's fine. Sometimes it like makes me upset because history is like sad and awful. But like I picked historical fiction, and then I saw like literary fiction as an option, and I was like, I don't actually think that I know what literary fiction is or what it means.
Hmm.
And so I looked it up, and this is what literary fiction is. I don't know has anybody else heard of this? I mean, like I've heard of it. I didn't know the definition of it until now. Literary fiction is a category of novels that focuses on character, style, and theme over plot. It is often considered more serious than genre fiction such as romance, horror, or science fiction. But like, isn't that like most books? Like, I don't really understand. And then I was trying to look for an example. And so apparently The Great Gatsby is an example of that. I don't know. I'm just like, I need somebody to explain it to me like I'm 5 years old, I guess. Because like I don't really like, does it mean that like it has like overall themes? Cuz like okay, The Great Gatsby, I understand The Great Gatsby is like making a commentary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it just stuff like that? Catcher in the Rye is also an example, and To Kill a Mockingbird. So I guess it's like and those are a fiction,
Mm-hmm.
but like they say something serious. Animal Farm is too, by George
Yes.
Orwell. So I guess I do understand what that is. I just didn't realize that that was what literary fiction meant.
Yeah, me neither.
Um, but anyway, I just wanted to share that. Yeah, I didn't. I honestly, I mean, like, here's the thing. I've read I think I've read all of the classic literary fiction examples. Like I've read Great Gatsby, I've read To Kill a Mockingbird, I've read Catcher in the Rye, I've read. I actually don't know if I've read Animal Farm. I've read 1984. I've read Catch 22. I've read Fahrenheit 451.
I was wondering if that was going to be on the list.
Yeah. I don't know. I've read most of those. And like I get it. I just feel like there are books that do that transcend genre. Like I feel like a lot of fantasy books also do that. Game of Thrones does that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know if that's technically considered literary fiction.
I'm pretty sure it started off as books.
It did. It definitely did. Those are my thoughts on literary fiction. Anyway, back to the etymology of words. Okay, this isn't really a word. It's more of a term. But the
Mm-hmm.
term hot dog, it's disputed. The origin of the term hot dog is disputed, but it likely comes from the German immigrant community in the United States in the 1800s. Makes sense. The term may have started as a joke about the small, long, and thin sausages that resembled dachshunds. So there's a whole bunch of theories, but I need to pause real quick and say the word dachshund reminded me of something I saw on TikTok last week. Apparently, people pronounce dachshund like
Did they say dash hound?
dash hound. Yeah, that's not correct. Is that regional? Let's look
I
it up real
guess.
quick. This is low-key what Brittany Broski does on her podcast. But I feel like this is basically what she does is she just starts talking about stuff and then she comes up with something else that she wonders about and then she looks it up
In
and
the
then she
moment.
goes back to it. Like that's what I'm doing right now. I actually can't find a reason why we pronounce it differently. Let me know if you know the reason why some people say dash hound instead of dachshund because that's crazy
Mhm.
to me. Okay, anyway, back to the other thing that I was doing, which is
Thank
hot dog
you.
etymology. Anyway,
That's crazy.
here are some theories.
Oh.
Here are some theories about why they call it hot dogs. Number one, the dachshund sausage theory. A cartoonist for the New York Journal, Tad Dorgan, drew a cartoon of dachshund sausages in hot dog buns after seeing vendors selling dachshund sausages at the New York Polo Grounds in 1901. He couldn't spell dachshund, so he wrote hot dog instead. This is my raw reaction to that. Americans are
Hot
crazy.
dog.
Americans are crazy people. I say that as an American. The dog meat theory. Oh,
Oh.
I hate that, actually. This theory originated in American college campuses in the late 1800s, and some people believe that the thin sausages contain dog meat. I don't really like that theory. Um, I'm not for it. The sarcastic comment theory. The term may have started as a sarcastic comment on the provenance, yeah, of the
Hmm.
meat. Other evidence. The term hot dog was used in college magazines in the 1890s. Oh, Germans called the Frankfurter a little dog or dachshund sausage. Oh, origin. Late 19th century, originally U.S. college slang, probably influenced by a popular belief that the sausages contain dog meat. That's like the from Oxford languages. These are questions I never thought I'd find myself asking, but um, everybody, you need to stay curious out there. It's a rough, rough world. Rough, rough, as in dachshund, dog, rough, rough. Rough, rough world.
English is such a fucked up language.
It really is.
Like, truly, we had to steal what everybody else had. We had no original ideas. And then we go ahead and make it fucked up grammar.
I've been um, like low key trying to learn German, just a little bit,
Hmm.
and like as I've been doing it, I'm so technically English is a Germanic language, right?
Hmm.
Um, Obviously German is a Germanic language, and so I thought because I just generally wanted to learn a language, so I was like, well, German might be easiest. One, because I'm actually pretty familiar with it. My grandpa was born in Germany. Uh, and apparently he could understand it fluently. I don't remember if he could speak it fluently or not. But anyway, I'm very familiar with German, and so I was like, well, it's also English is a Germanic language, so maybe it'll be easier for me to learn German before. I mean, I'm familiar with Italian and like Romance language too. I know that the grammar technically there are different grammar rules, but
Hmm.
it's probably easier to learn the grammar rules of another Germanic language. I've been kind of learning German and for the most part their sentence structure is very similar to ours. Like there's a couple of things like in Romance languages all the words are like in spots that don't make sense to us
Hmm.
as English speakers, but the German sentence structure is really similar to ours. So, like, if I said, du bist mein Vater, or something like that, Vater, sorry. Like, that's sentence structure, like, that's word for word, you are my father. But, like, there are certain things, the word for gladly, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now, the word for gladly, like when you're saying in German, I eat I eat curry sausage gladly. Gladly goes before the verb. So it would be I gladly eat curry sausage or currywurst or whatever. It still like makes sense if it was word for word translated to English, like in the same
Yeah,
all the words are it still makes sense. But like there are some things like that where it's like that's not my initial instinct to put that word there.
we just add a lot of like filler and descriptive words
Yeah.
that a lot of other languages don't. It's translated directly to English, word for word. It feels either like barren or like hard to comprehend.
They have like words or phrases that like mean like that you it's really hard to directly translate them
Mm-hmm.
to English. Like they mean something and have a connotation in that language, but you can't translate that. But like there are German words that are like that. Like they express a sentiment. This is so stupid and I don't even know if it's real, but the one example I can think of is in How I Met Your Mother when Ted is talking to Klaus, who was have you seen How I Met Your Mother?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ted is talking to Klaus. He's like telling Ted some I don't know. They're on a train platform and he's telling Ted something and he's like explaining this German term that I can't
Mm-hmm.
remember off the top of my head, but like it means something in German that like he can't directly translate to English because like words have cultural meaning. Going along with hot dog, let's look at the etymology of the word mustard. Originating from Latin mustum, meaning must, evolving into Old French mustard, and then Middle English mustard. Middle English from Old French mustard, from Latin mustum, must, mustard being originally prepared with grape must. The way that they make mustard is by grinding up mustard seeds into a
Yes,
paste. So how do they make mustard from grape must? Or is must like seeds?
the seeds.
So that means that there used to be different types of mustards. Grape mustard, cuz
Yeah,
like
mustard and ketchup used to have different variations just
variations.
depending on what kind of ingredients it was.
I had no idea. That's crazy. I want to know what grape mustard tastes like, you guys. If anybody can recommend me grape mustard, there is in Wisconsin, there is a mustard museum. I wonder if they have grape mustard there. And I wonder if I can acquire it there.
Here is 17 German words with no English translation. We start off with Sturmfrei, which means when your parents are away and you have the whole house to yourself. And then I think this is the most direct of all of them. This one's Ovirm, which means earworm.
SpongeBob when he has that overm.
Hand Schuschni Ball Werfer, which means glove snowball thrower.
Gloved snowball thrower. Say that word again for me.
Hand Schuschni Ball Werfer. Now we have uh, backpfeifengesicht, which is a face that begs to be slapped.
Oh, I love this. This is awesome.
Now we have Herbs and Zayler, which is someone who is obsessed with details and a bit of a control freak. Now we have Drei Quesos, which means three cheese high.
3 cheese high. Like as in a unit of measurement, like it's 3 cheeses high.
Uh,
Does it say? Does it give context?
it's what you call a small child who is only as tall as three wheels of cheese stacked on top of each other.
I
Oh,
love it. I love German. It's such a good language, I feel like. Like, they have such good, like, they take cheese very seriously. They take breakfast very seriously.
And we have Verschlimmbesen, which is to make something worse by trying to improve it. Then we have Wanderlust, which is a strong desire to travel,
Like
which
Wanderlust.
we've translated to Wanderlust.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude, the feeling of pleasure derived by seeing another's misfortune. Oh, for those listening in, I don't speak German. This is simply going off of IPA.
Well, a lot of spoken German and sung German aren't the same.
Yeah, it is what
Just
it
so you
is.
know. But it's
Uh,
okay. We're trying. We genuinely respect language, unlike some people.
yes. Pantoffeln. Sure. A man who may act tough in front of his friends but can't stand up for himself against his wife.
Okay, they're clocking tea.
Then we have Zunzwang, to be forced to make a decision. Kummerspeck, excess weight gained from emotional overeating. Weltschmerz, mental depression or apathy caused by a comparison of the actual state of the world with an ideal state.
That one's really real right now.
I think we just got diagnosed. Torschlusspanik. As one gets older, the feat that time is running out and important opportunities are slipping away. Erklärungsnot. Having to explain yourself quickly. That exact moment when you have been caught red-handed and need to explain yourself, like immediately and without giving the impression that you have no excuse for what just happened. Buckle up.
Okay, I'm buckled.
Innerer Schweinehund.
Inner something dog. Inner dog.
Inner pig dog. Sometimes we hope that our spirit animal could be an eagle, will and free, but most times we find out that we have an inner pig dog instead. It's that little voice in your head that keeps us lazy and tells us that it's okay not to go to the gym.
I got that dog in me.
Silencing the innere Schweinehund is hard work, but it's worth it.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
shit. Going to the Red Line district in Germany to get my tea-clocked and wig snatched.
I hate to break it to you, but I think that's in Amsterdam.
It is.
Idiot.
Oh, it's not that far from Germany.
It's not that far, but it's also not super close. Like, you probably have to take a plane.
I think I just associate them together because of Anne Frank.
Do you remember when Justin Bieber went in the Anne Frank house?
R.I.P. She would have been a believer.
Why did he say that? Like, why did he say that? I hope everybody learned something today. And that is that I have a thirst for knowledge of stupid things. Hashtag Hundehouse.
Hashtag hot dog. Well, thank you for listening in to this episode of Yapfest featuring Ben and Lola. If you would like to hear more from us, follow us along on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you'd like to see the video of this episode or future or previous episodes, head over to our YouTube channel, Yapfest featuring Ben and Lola. If you want to see funny clips from episodes, now that it's officially unbanned once again, head over to our TikTok, yapfest.podcast. And if you want to see some behind the scenes of what's happening over here at Yapfest, head over to our Instagram, yapfest.podcast. See ya!
Wait. Tschüss. Tschüss. That's goodbye in German. Tschüss.
Shalom!
L'chaim.